Fiat 500 liters name is remarkably simplistic since the L stands for large, and that's what this car is, a large Fiat 500. While it may be an extension of the 500 model range, it's more a replacement for the Fiat Multipla. For the record, the 500 liters is 59 centimeters longer, 15 centimeters wider and 17 centimeters taller than the standard model, and it's likely to go up against the likes of the Ford Max and Vauxhall Meriva. The idea is to offer MPV-like passenger space but in the guise of a small car. Thanks to the popularity of the 500 hatchback, Fiat is hoping that slapping the same number on a bigger model will be enough to tempt buyers to this compact people carrier. While that ploy may work for the likes of Mini, it could prove a lot more difficult for Fiat, especially as the 500L's similarities with the standard 500 are small at best. Instead, it feels like a mix, and awkward one at times, of the 500, Panda and larger Dalo models. Engine lineup from launch: the 500 liters is available with 4 engines found across the Fiat range already. The diesel engine choice comes in the forms of the 1.3-liter and 1.6-liter Multijet 2. While this is a good match for the 500 liters, in this car petrol is likely to be king. Fortunately, there's the choice of the 1.4-liter petrol engine or the economical and low-emitting 0.9-liter twin-air engine. All are affordable to run and are good at helping to keep running costs down, including insurance premiums too. In March 2014, 2 new engines joined the range, a 1.6 Multijet 2 turbodiesel and a 1.4 jet petrol engine. Both are turbocharged with 118 bhp available and come with some impressive fuel economy figures and low CO2 emissions. Practical and flexible: priority number 1 for the Fiat 500 liters is practicality, and it has this in abundance. There are 22 stowage compartments dotted around the cabin, while space for rear passengers is very good. Even better is the 3-level boot space to allow items to be separated neatly. Fiat 500 liters trekking: there's also a pumped-up trekking version of the 500 liters which features a higher ride height, mud and snow tires and Traction Plus, which allows the car to tackle mild off-roading as well. It uses the same set of engines as the regular 500 liters. It also features a first for a Fiat City brake control will automatically brake the car at speeds of up to 19 miles per hour if it senses an impending collision. The 500 liters may lack the charm and good looks that attracted so many buyers to the 500 hatchback, but it more than makes up for this in flexibility and practicality. If you're after a car that offers space, and clever and useful functionality, the 500 liters has to be high on the list. Is the little people carrier worthy of the 500 name? Read the full Fiat 500 liters review to find out. From launch there are 4 engines to choose from, and while Fiat 500 liters performance isn't breathtaking, each is good enough for a car that is likely to be used mainly around city centers. The 2 petrol options include the 0.9-liter twin-air and the standard 1.4-liter petrol engine. Both engines have been used in a number of other models across the rest of the Fiat range. The 0.9-liter twin-air, with its turbocharger and intercooler, produces 105 bhp and 145 Nm of pulling power. It will power the 500 liters from 0 to 62 miles per hour in 12.3 seconds. The 1.4-liter petrol engine makes 95 bhp and will cover the same benchmark sprint in a slightly slower 12.8 seconds. This engine is good for ambling around town or getting a head start against other traffic. Get in on a longer stretch of motorway and its weakness begins to be exposed a little. Attempt to overtake slower traffic and you'll need to drop down a gear or 2. Under this kind of acceleration the engine begins to feel a bit strained too. Once up to motorway speeds it handles things well. Both the petrol engines are fitted with a 6-speed manual gearbox. This can feel a little notchy at times, not very accurate and far from the smoothest attempt in this sector. The diesels available are the 1.3-liter and 1.6-liter Multijet 2, producing 85 bhp and 200 Nm and 105 bhp and 320 Nm of pulling power, respectively. This helps it reach 62 miles per hour from standstill in 14.9 seconds in the 1.3. While it's more than 2 seconds slower than the petrol equivalents, it's not too noticeable due to the extra power at the lower end of the rev range. This low-down pulling power proves useful for getting ahead of traffic, though the diesels are only worth the added premium if you're likely to be doing more motorway miles than tackling inner-city traffic. The 1.3-liter diesel engine is paired with a 5-speed manual gearbox, the 1.6-liter gaining an extra ratio. Neither feels up to the same standards of those found in the Skoda Roomster and Hyundai X20. New for 2014. In March 2014, two new engines joined the range, a 1.6 multi-jet 2 turbodiesel and a 1.4 jet petrol engine. Both are turbocharged with 118 bhp available. The 1.6 multi-jet 2, as well as being Euro 6 type approved, also comes with some good headline figures with CO2 emissions of 120 gkm and an official fuel consumption figure of 61.4 miles per gallon. Performance has not been compromised, however, with a top speed of 117 miles per hour and a 062 miles per hour time of 10.7 seconds for the diesel. The 1.4 jet petrol performance also fares well with an identical top speed but an improved 10.2 seconds on the 062 miles per hour sprint. CO2 emissions sit at 159 gkm and the official fuel consumption figure is 40.9 miles per gallon. On the road, both engines impress with plenty of pull at lower gears and a smooth performance while cruising on a motorway. The Fiat 500 liters performs just as you might expect for a small MPV targeted at those living in the city. The steering is nice and light, making tight maneuvers simple, while the city button takes this a step further for when you find yourself in a really tight situation. The steering does weight up a little at higher speeds for added composure, though not to a point where you can take corners at high speeds with confidence. This is a city car after all, and as such Fiat 500 liters handling is biased towards being easy to drive. The steering does lack sharpness, however, and it's not quite as direct as it perhaps should be. The high body means there is some lean in the corners, but that's the compromise drivers must make when they want a car with the kind of headroom on offer here. In terms of ride quality, the 500 liters is sufficient. There is a choice of 15-inch to 17-inch wheels. The 17-inch versions do show up any uneven road surfaces a little more, but isn't going to leave you begging for mercy after a short trip across cobblestones. It deals with larger problems, potholes and problems okay though. For greater agility is the off-roader-inspired trekking version. Although it has raised ground clearance, it remains front-wheel drive, using Fiat's Traction Plus system and mud and snow tires for additional grip on loose and slippery surfaces. While the raised ride height affords greater visibility of the road, it also makes it roll more in corners. Fiat 500 liters trekking. The higher ride height offered on the trekking model does mean a little more body roll, but this is offset by the enhanced off-road capability from the increased ground clearance coupled with the mud and snow tires and the Traction Plus system. The latter works with the electric traction and stability control systems to brake a spinning wheel and transfer torque to the wheel with most grip. This means it can handle mild off-roading with ease, although tougher courses will pose a bigger challenge. Inside the car is a mix and match of features and designs from a variety of models, from the standard 500, Panda and even the larger Quo model. This means that everything is recognizable, well laid out and easy to find and use. Like the standard 500 model, the manufacturer has focused much on the customization available to potential buyers. There's a huge range of colors and different materials available to choose from. Some of the finishes do look a little cheap and as though they may scratch quite easily, the red vinyl option in particular. There's also a mix of hard shiny materials, these look a little basic, and softer touch choices that feel much nicer and give the cabin a more upmarket appearance. The chunky gear stick feels robust and pleasing to use. The aircon dials look as though they've come from the brand's commercial vehicle side rather than the dainty 500. The seat can be moved to various positions and steering wheel is also adjustable, so most drivers should be able to find a comfortable position quite easily. Fiat 500 liters comfort levels all depend on whether you are the driver or rear passenger and are something of a mixed bag. For the driver, the seats don't offer enough support. There is a lumbar support switch, which helps, but lateral support is almost non-existent while the seat itself feels flat as if you are never really in it. In terms of seat comfort, the rear passengers are confronted by a similar issue. The seats feel flat and there is no support for individual seats, so you could soon end up on your friend's lap. The legroom and headroom on offer for those in the back, however, is exceptional. Even with a 6-foot-plus driver you'll have lots of room to stretch out your legs, with another 6-foot-tall person behind getting enough room to endure longer journeys. Visibility is another key aspect of the 500 liters. With the wide front windscreen, glass between the pillars and wraparound rear windscreen, getting out of tight junctions or parking in tight spots shouldn't be a problem. This is also aided by the raised seating position to help give you a good 360-degree view. The diesel and petrol engines are a little noisy, the diesel on startup and at idle and the 1.4-liter petrol when attempting to accelerate. Wind noise is also apparent because of the high box-like shape and large wing mirrors, while road noise is audible but not too intrusive. Fiat's 500 liters comes in 5 versions: Popstar, Easy, Lounge, Trekking and a new Beats edition. Standard Fiat 500 liters equipment Popstar Grade 500 LS are fitted with body-colored bumpers, remote central locking, manual air conditioning, electric front windows, electric door mirrors, dual-drive power steering, electronic stability control, hill holder, cruise control, height-adjustable driver's seat, split folding, sliding and reclining rear seat, painted dashboard, 16-inch alloy wheels and 5-inch Uconnect touchscreen radio. Progress to the Easy version, and you'll also benefit from Bluetooth audio streaming, rear parking sensors and a soft touch dashboard. Opt for the luxurious Lounge model and in addition your 500 liters will be fitted with dual-zone climate control, all-round electric windows and a fixed-position glass roof with blind. The Beats edition sees a collaboration with premium audio brand Beats by Dr. Dre which, along with an impressive new sound system, brings some distinct exterior enhancements including 17-inch alloy wheels, wheel arch extensions and chrome touches around the wing mirrors and exhaust. Bespoke leather is also included as standard as well as automatic dual-zone climate control, a touchscreen Uconnect infotainment system, automatic headlights, rain sensors and rear privacy glass. If you require something more rugged, the latest trekking version has a raised ride height, mud and snow tires, traction plus traction control system, 17-inch alloy wheels and a tougher-looking bodywork with gray moldings on the bumpers and wheel arches. Optional Fiat 500 liters accessories. Fiat is keen for 500 liters buyers to personalize their cars, so a huge range of wheels, colors and interior colorways can be selected, giving almost 300 permutations. Other choices from the extras list include Satnav and DAB via the Uconnect infotainment system, Beats speaker system, city brake control, emergency braking standard on trekking, lumbar adjustable and heated front seats, heated windscreen and an integrated espresso machine. 2 new option packs have been introduced in 2014. The first is called the Premium Pack, which includes leather interior, rear parking camera, DAB radio, Satnav and a 5-inch touchscreen. The second pack is called the Living Pack, which includes heated seats, lumbar support and front armrest. For a small family car, the Fiat 500 liters S safety levels are quite high. As standard it comes with 2 front airbags, 2 window airbags and 2 side airbags. It also gets the usual bits of technology like stability control and ABS. It gets a new city brake control system too. This will be available a little after the initial launch and is capable of recognizing obstacles in front of the car, braking automatically if the driver fails to do so. Euro NCAP have awarded the 500 liters 5 stars for safety. Trekking models also get mud and snow tires, along with city brake control, which brakes the car at speeds between 3 and 19 miles per hour if a possible collision is detected. This is the prime focus of the Fiat 500 liters and it proves to be the car's best feature. With the rear seats pushed back, the luggage capacity is 343 liters. These can then slide forward and boot space expands to 400 liters. They are also split 60 hours 40 minutes to make it more flexible, and the amount of room in the rear rises to a maximum 1,310 liters. That's not quite as good as the Hyundai X20 that is capable of carrying 440 liters of luggage with the seats up and 1,486 liters with them folded flat. Dropping the rear seats in the Fiat is a simple affair. Pull a lever on the top of the seat and they drop forward, then tumble further with absolute ease. There's no weightlifter-like effort to expand the room in the boot. The 500 liters boot does have a clever feature, too. Including the parcel shelf, it is a 3-level boot. Underneath the boot floor you can store fragile items or bits you don't want rolling about. You can then take this out and slot it into a fitting slightly higher to give further room underneath. Then there's the standard boot floor, which gets useful holding nets and fold-down hooks. The lip of the boot is also quite low with a wide opening, making it incredibly easy to put heavier items in the car. In the cabin there are a total of 22 compartments to put all your other loose items like phone and wallet. The door bins are a decent size, though you do have to squash 500 milliliters bottle a little to get it in. There are 2 glove compartments, which are useful if your car is overflowing with documents and CDs. Overall, Fiat 500 liters practicality is good.